All right, so here's one that I see a lot of people getting wrong, and also a question that I'm getting a lot. How do you keep a budget? So, a lot of the sentiment out there is that people don't want to be on a budget. They tell me things like, I'm not going to live on a budget. Why are you living that way? What is the purpose of even living if you're not going to just enjoy your money that you're making? What's the purpose of having the money? So, let's explore that line of thought and see what is the point of even going ahead and saving that amount of money, and what is the purpose of that money if you're not just going to go ahead and spend it on consumer items. So this is going to be a fairly short and fairly simple video. Basically, the way that I keep a budget and the reason why I keep a budget is I keep a budget in Excel, and the reason why I keep a budget is the same reason why someone like a bodybuilder or like a physique model would have a diet and exercise. Your exercise, that's basically your job, your business, whatever your source of income is. That's what you do to build yourself up. And then your budget is basically what I would consider to be your diet. You can have a great exercise regime, but if you go out there and you just eat a bunch of fast food, fatty foods, let's say you're burning 2,000 calories in your exercise regime, but you're eating 2,200 calories in your diet, just fat, terrible foods, well, you're gonna gain weight, right? You're gonna gain fat, and you're not going to be at that caloric deficit that you're going to need to get those cuts. Imagine this. Someone walks up to you and says,
"Hey, I want to become a bodybuilder."
So you're like, okay, let's talk about your diet, let's talk about your exercise, how much are you exercising? And they tell you,
"I don't want a diet. I want to be a bodybuilder."
And you're like, so, I know this guy, he's good with diets. And they're just like,
"I don't do diets."
Like, so obviously you're not going to do bodybuilding, right? So building up an account and building up your body in the form of bodybuilding is generally the same principles, and it's really that simple. So what I do is I go ahead and put all of my expenses into Excel, and I'll put all of them in. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some screenshots just because what I do is not very difficult. You can very easily look up how to do the simple calculations that I do in my Excel document, and I'm not going to really do a tutorial of that unless there's some demand for it. Let me know in the comments below. So I add up all my expenses, whether that be my mortgage, utilities, food, literally anything that goes out of my wallet. And I have the BECU app, which, by the way, if anybody in the Pacific Northwest wants to sign up for BECU, if you sign up and put $500 in your account, let me know, because we could both make $150, I think was the last thing I checked. So if you guys want to utilize that sign-up bonus, I'm all about free money. So we can both make some free money. And that is my plug for the video. I'm done. I swear that was it. But if you want some free money, let me know. Actually, just one more plug, because it is appropriate given I just plugged that banking opportunity. And go ahead and go follow me on Instagram. If you message me over there, my channel's pretty small, my Instagram's pretty small. I will for sure message back, and whatever questions you have, I'll make sure I answer them to the best of my ability. So I'll put in all my expenses, I'll put in all my incomes, and I just thought about this live, but what I could do is take all of those incomes and all of those expenses and basically calculate a percentage of my income that I'm spending. My target by 2022 is to save at least 60% of my income, hopefully more, and I'll tell you guys the interesting math behind that right now. So this is also going to answer the original question of why save so much of your money if you're not going to use it eventually, and I think you guys will really like this, so let's talk about it. Well, picture this, right? Let's say that you make $50,000 a year, and you decide that you're going to go and live off of half of your income, or $25,000 a year. That's after tax. So if you were to invest that $25,000 at a 10% return, it would take you 14 years for those investments to generate the portion of your income that you're living off of. So in other words, you could retire in 14 years. If you bump that up to 60% of your income, you can retire in 60. If you bump that up to 60% of your income, you can retire in 11 years. Actually, recently, one of my favorite YouTubers is effectively retired, Mr. Graham Stephan over at Graham Stephan and Graham Stephan Show. This guy's 29, he's basically retired. He doesn't need to work for the rest of his life because his passive income covers all of his expenses. And if you were to bump that again up to 70%, you would be able to retire in 9 years. And as you can see, as you get above 70%, you can retire in under 10 years. Imagine someone who starts saving and investing 70% or more of their income starting at age 18. So obviously that's going to require either very low expenses or very high income. So just imagine doing that from age 18 to age 27. You'd be able to retire at age 27 just because you're spending so little relative to how much you're making. So yeah, a lot of people will say that, hey, you're wasting your life away, but think about this. If you're able to retire in 11 years, starting at 18, you get to retire at age 29. Is the person who saved for those 11 years wasting their life away? Or is the person who worked from age 18 to 65 wasting their life away? So that's why I've been saving so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys decide to go and take some level of this on. I know what I do is a little bit crazy, so I don't really expect people to do all the penny pinching that I do, but get out there, try to increase your income, try to increase your savings rate, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the early retirement circle. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, comment down below for some engagement, and I'll see you guys in the next one.